There we go. Okay. Hello.
Hi. Can you see me?
Yes, I can see you. And let me
Okay.
just move my salutations there. There we go. Okay, I can see. Oh my gosh, I'm actually talking to the Graceful. This is incredible. Oh my
This
goodness.
is so
This is
crazy that
amazing.
you're excited to talk to me because I've been watching you since you made that video. What was it called? I'm a femcel or something like that.
Oh really? Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
So
Wow. Oh my goodness. Well, I've only just started watching you and I'm obsessed, as I said. Like I can't get enough. So
I know
yes.
your your stream about us was honestly so like it was like honestly so relieving for me because like you have to be tough on the internet, but the amount of vitriol and like craziness that me and my family have been dealing with and like people calling the police on us and stuff. I don't know. I just really appreciated that you seem to see it as more like art than like something to be a moral crusader about.
Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad. I think just because I've been watching like everything, like I'm always
Yeah.
there. Like, gosh, you've been getting me with your mom's live streams. Like, I'm keep getting the notifications and I'm clicking. I'm like, oh my god, where is she? Well done. But yes. I mean, yeah, like I said, like, everything I said about you and your family, like I stand by that completely. Like, yeah, people will get it. They will get it. They will get it. And they'll get that this is a moment on the internet. So yeah.
Yeah. I'd actually like to someday make a sort of like documentary myself about what happened because it was like you said, there was a crucible era, which was like its own sphere, and then we've moved through like the manosphere and like all these different it's kind of funny, like we're this family that's totally messed up. And
Yeah.
we're just going around YouTube interacting with different people. It's interesting. People only see the worst, the most exaggerated side of it, and they're like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, exactly. And like the clips, they don't have like sort of the context of everything. And I
Yeah,
think it's also so interesting. Like it's so interesting, like being a family. Like you don't see that like on YouTube.
yeah,
You don't see a family.
yeah.
It's like so. I'm just obsessed. As I said, I'm obsessed. So yes, I can't get enough of it. And you're so talented at editing and at what you're doing. Like really, like it's yeah, you got me hooked.
Thank you.
So yeah, you're gonna do great. You really are.
You know, related to like the whole, like the people coming after us is like, I think like the thing about the N word, but also about the sexual stuff is like people online are, in my opinion, way too wound up about all of it, especially the sexual stuff. I mean, people throw out the P word like it's just like an insult. Like it's, you know what I mean?
Yes, I do. Yeah, exactly. And that should not be something that's used lightly. I don't think any of these words should be used lightly. I mean, now it's sort of like you're looking for a pedo under like every single like I don't know, like every little thing, and it's like no, like
Yeah.
this. I think, for instance, I mean, like somebody said that your dad was a P word because he said that he like hugs like your siblings, like your he like you know he's like really like about like touching, like hugging and like
Yeah.
kissing like your siblings, and it's like
Yeah. Yep.
you know like it's
You know, I was
to
actually,
me just it's just I just feel that sort of like these things like there's actual paedophiles who obviously
right.
like you need to like look at and you need to like watch, but there's just something like
You know Rini in your chat, right?
yes.
I was accused of being a lesbian predator because she's 16, and I think I talked with her about like I don't know, like manosphere kind of stuff, like does size matter or something like that. And they're like, well, you should really be careful because people might think things. And I was like, are you kidding me? A 20-year-old woman can't talk to a 16-year-old girl about like first of all, what do you think 16-year-olds are? Like innocent little babies? No. But
Yeah.
secondly, like Rini's a good girl. I believe Rini's a good
Yes,
girl.
she's great. I can't believe she's 16, but she's great. Yeah, exactly. It's wild. Like people think that because my name's Kidology, like there's this literal conspiracy in some of these like live streams that it's because I've got something to do with kids. It's intriguing. I see one of those comments like every now and again, but yeah. Sorry.
Where do you think it comes from though? Like what? See, the thing is, it's like you'd think that people would be, if anything, too sexually like generous and not calling people out for bad behavior, because you'd like, this is definitely a very sexually liberal society, right? Whether you like it or not, it's but like I think when you go extreme with like the sexual revolution, then you end up with this sort of like hyper Puritanism, right? It's always like when it's so extreme one way, then it wildly goes back the other way.
Yeah. Like, I mean, now, at least I need to link this study somewhere because I keep referencing it, but there was this study recently about, or like a year ago. Basically, this generation, like millennials and Gen Z, are they're less tolerant of, say, infidelity or of marital sex than previous generations, like sort of in the 80s and so. So I think that's like you said, I think it sort of has this inverse effect. I think it's the same with so many things, like with sort of this idea of like now, I would say that we're in an era where it's perfectly acceptable to be racist toward white people just openly, and to like make money and bank on TikTok just being racist to like white people. Just, you know, you can just say these horrible things that you would never say to any other group of people. You know, it's like it's sort of gone the opposite way, like sort of this idea of being more tolerant and understanding and of racial equality has like just, it's like the inverse now, and it's sort of like the other side in some spheres on the internet.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like how a certain group of Christians online are very interested in calling certain people degenerates or like basically sinners, when obviously if you're a Christian, we are all sinners and we don't judge. So like I think it's like it's kind of right-wing machismoism, kind of like these guys are obsessed. I've met this because people consider me right-wing, so I've had a lot of right-wing guys that I've talked to, and they're obsessed with gay sex. They talk about it constantly and proving that they're not gay.
Oh, yeah.
It really is true, because they want to be so far on the other side that all of these right-wing guys are obsessed with men and whether or not they're gay. Seriously.
Interesting.
I can show you sides of YouTube.
That is interesting. That is actually interesting. I don't know that particular side of YouTube, but
yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, I need to look at that. Yeah. Yes. Keep me informed on that, please, because that would be interesting. Wow.
But another thing about the whole sex thing in general is that I think your generation, you're a millennial, right?
I'm Gen Z, actually.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Well, when you asked me to email you to come on the show, I assumed you were at least a millennial.
Oh no, I'm Gen Z. I'm still, I'm a part of them. yeah.
Wouldn't you say a lot of problems in our generation, they actually come from people being afraid of sex?
Yes. Oh yes, definitely.
Like really afraid of sex.
Oh yeah.
I used to be way more afraid of sex.
Oh yeah. I think people are afraid of sex, and I think we're afraid when we see it's like this effect, like there's like this effect sort of with refugees, when people see refugees and then they get afraid that because they see that this could happen to them, and so they ignore them, right? At least in Europe, this is like the theory. And I think it's the same with sex. When you see people who are sexually liberated, especially I would say like now with like OnlyFans girls, and you see these like sexually liberated people who are like having sex allegedly, or like are open about their sexuality, people don't like that because it reminds them of like what they aren't doing. And it also just reminds them, I think, of their fear. Definitely does for me in my personal life. And it makes me feel very depressed especially when I have to like be rational about it and be like, okay, like you can't just like call these people like hoes and like like all these things. You need to actually like look at this and be like, okay. So
Well, sometimes you can call them hoes. I was just on a Destiny panel, and it was supposed to be like a debate battle royale or whatever. And this one girl on there she kept shaking her ass every time she like couldn't come up with a response. She just literally, I'm not kidding. And then she called me immature. I was like, bitch.
oh my goodness. Oh wow. I need to watch that now. Gosh, have you just been on Destiny?
Yeah, I thought it was going to be later tonight. Yeah,
Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Oh wow. Gosh. They love you there. They really love you.
Sorry, I'm kind of famous. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I got called a Nazi though. I got called a Nazi. Okay, this is like the craziest reason to call somebody a Nazi ever. I went on there, right? And they said, "What do you think about interracial dating?" I said, "Of course, who cares? But the only thing I would say is that some people fetishize the other race and even can get married to somebody of another race to prove a point to their parents or their friends or,
Oh, yeah.
They do that a lot, and also they fetishize. My uncle married an African woman partially to mess with my granddad. Like, seriously. So whatever, like, that happens, and that's not a good way to treat somebody else. But otherwise, of course, what do I care if there's two different races? Why would I care? And they call me a Nazi. Why?
Surely that's the opposite of Nazism.
Right.
That's
And they were
like the complete opposite. Okay.
Yeah, I don't see this. That's the thing, and like I know the Nazi thing is like, okay, everybody says every argument is Hitler, right? Isn't there some kind of a fallacy, the Hitler fallacy or something?
Oh yes, yeah. If you haven't been called a Nazi, you're not a human being at this point on the internet. So, yeah, that's crazy. Okay. Yeah, no, that makes no sense whatsoever. Yeah.
I just want to talk about so many things with you. I'm
And
gushing.
we need to dedicate like an actual like whole stream with us just talking to each other, because I have so many questions as well, and I'm so nosy as well, and so I want to know everything, and I just want to like talk about like your perspective on things, and just like if you want to like your family as well. Just
I would love to do that.
I'd love to, because I adore you. Like I'm not gonna lie.
I really
like when you were on Destiny,
oh my God.
and you did your stream, I was like, oh my gosh, yes. I was very excited. So yes.
I literally would. I never could have predicted the day that Kidology would be saying she's a huge fan of me. But that's really sweet. Thank you.
Oh no. I love that kind of content. Like it's like it intrigues me. So yes, I find it great, and I think it's like really interesting because it's so different as well, and because of like what I said, like my theory about things, which you don't have to confirm at all. Keep the suspense for the viewers. But, So. Yes, I'm very interested in how everything transpires and how everything inevitably grows. So yes, yeah. But we need to. I will get on. I'm going through like my Twitter DMs this evening. So I will get back to you. Because I saw you DM'd me.
Sure.
So thank you so much. Thank you.
I'm very busy and famous, but
Oh yeah. I hope you can.
I always have time for you.
I hope so. Like for your number one fangirl, like please. So yes, yeah. Oh my God! And thank you so much for your video that you made for me.
Oh,
your
you're welcome.
Video. I appreciate that so much. I was like, oh my gosh, your audience was flipping. They're like, oh my God, she's a lesbian now. Like,
no, actually, most of the comments, they were like, I don't care, lesbian, straight, whatever. You need to go to the gym and build that ass, baby. And I was like, okay.
You don't.
I can't show my butt on. And that's another thing. Okay, I legitimately am kind of like, I don't mean to be this kind of person, but like it is so unbelievably like there's so being a woman online, like if you act slutty, obviously they call you a slut, but they're also like, oh well, she likes men, she's like a good girl. If you don't act slutty, then you're a prude, right? And if you try to ride the line in the middle, it's like people get so obsessed with it. That's more of the puritanicalism. Like I once had, the Crucible?
Yes.
Yeah, I was watching this the other day because I was like, what exactly happened? He came on my stream when I was just starting out, and he asked me, like, how much of a woman's breast can be showing before it's immodest. And I was like, are you 14 years old? Like, do we really have to go through this? But it's seriously something people do, and they constantly say, oh, you're not traditional or whatever. I find it infuriating, personally.
No, I can understand that. I can't empathize with it because, like, in your situation, like I just see like people are obsessed with your sexuality. Like they're obsessed
Yes.
with it. I have not seen
Yes.
such obsession with somebody's like sexual virtue or not, or when you're gonna get a boyfriend, when you're gonna move
I
out.
know.
Like it's
It's so crazy. And it's always the women. I'm not a woman hater. I love women, but it's always the women who are the bitchiest, who go on, like, I was on Modern Day Debate and they went on my chat, like this group of women who hate me, and they called me like a daddy effer, like over and over in all caps, like a major debate. I've never, like,
gosh.
actually, I did kind of experience that with my mom. So like I'm used to it in this weird way, but it is crazy.
Yeah,
It's
I
crazy.
thought that. Like, yeah. Like, at least from what I've seen, your mother is obsessed with your beauty. Yeah, yes. Just to put it
Yes.
lightly, she's obsessed with it, and it definitely does come across. And yeah, I think that like fascinated me. I have not seen that like sort of so openly expressed or so visible. It was really like wow.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I like, you can tell me to go away if you have other callers, that's fine.
No,
But
it's fine. We'll talk for another like 2 minutes then.
yeah, sure.
Sorry.
But the thing about my mom doing that is that actually, like, and this is a problem for a lot of girls, I think, is it made me, on the one hand, very, very insecure about like my sexuality, and like I wore like baggy shirts and stuff because I was like, I don't want to draw attention and be like the object of this woman's envy. It was too much pressure, so I'd cover up. But then, when I was out with my friends, I'd want to be slutty because I'm like, fuck you, mom. You're not going to make me into this, like, prude. So it's like a super unhealthy dynamic to be kind of shoved into, because you end up careening back and forth between those two things.
Exactly. You can't really be anyone. You can't be you. You can't like actually discover who you are because it sort of all like stems back to your mother, and it all just stems back to that, and it's like, gosh, it's like imprisoning like your sexuality, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, when I was younger, I tried to like now that I've tried to move away from this sort of thing of saying like, I don't want to be like my mom, or I do want to be like my mom, and then getting into that sort of thing, like, if you say I hate this person, what you really are is like obsessed with them, right? So like moving away from that. But when I was like 12, 13, 14, and she was being super weird about like buying bras and all that stuff, it was weird, man. It was weird. She is a sexually weird person. And it's strange to have a sexually weird mother, because puberty is brutal.
Exactly. Just on its own, without all of that as well, and just like the things that, I mean, she said to you and done is just I can't imagine like somebody who's like 12, 13, 14, like hearing those things and having those like conversations or being like witness to these things going on. It's just wow. Like that is it's incredible that you've actually ended up like who you are, like that you're doing what you're doing, that you're actually like it's really like it's commendable, like it really is. And like YouTube is difficult no matter what you do. If you do video essays, if you do like drama content, whatever, like it's hard, and it's a gamble.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting what you're doing, and like I said, your editing, amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
I could not believe that you edited. Like I said, what?
Thank
And
you.
then-
Yes.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing, really incredible.
Thank you. If you like the editing, I am editing. Me and my dad debated Destiny and Erudite. Not sure if you saw that, but I'm like
did,
breaking
yes.
it down. Yeah, so I'm going to be like editing it into hopefully 30 minutes, like a video essay of the entire debate,
nice.
if you're interested in that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Definitely. Don't worry, I'm subscribed. I've got you all. I've got your whole family. Subscriptions. Like I know whenever a video drops, I'm there. Okay. Don't worry. I know. So it's okay. But I've got some other callers to speak to. But I'll dedicate a whole stream to us talking because we have a lot to speak about. I've got a lot of questions, like I said.
Is it okay if I talk to you like this? I just really like it.
Oh, go for it. Please go for it. That's more British than my accent. It's great. Your British accent was brilliant. On your video dedicated to me, like it was great. It was great. It was like, I was like, wow, like my little heart. So thank you.
Well, thank you for having me on.
Oh, yes. And thank you for being here. And yes, we'll talk soon. We'll coordinate on Twitter. So yes, thank you. Bye, Grace.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I spoke to Graceful. Okay. Night maid. Okay.